Well, my name's David Turner, and I'm an associate professor here at St. Mary's University in San Antonio. Air quality, the things that are identified on the criteria pollutant list that the government has put together for air quality, a lot of it is based on the effects that it has on lung. A lot of that is driven or is a result of things that are difficult to control, which is mostly car traffic, automobile traffic. Mm-hmm. So typical measures would be to try and encourage people to take public transit, to carpool, to walk, to ride a bike, things like that, because anything you can do to reduce automobile and truck emissions under those weather conditions, those will help reduce at least the short-term impacts of bad air quality. Historically, decades ago, before you all were born, air was something you could see. So the Clean Air Act was really done to try and address smog and air quality issues associated with soot and dust. We had a lot of heavy industries, and you could actually see it. And there are examples where you've had bad weather patterns where you needed to use your headlights at high noon. And again, when I was a child, when I was your age, growing up, we constantly had health alert days. I grew up on the eastern seaboard, right outside Washington D.C., and in the hot summer days, we would have smog. A lot of it was ozone related. We would receive health warnings. We were being told to stay inside, to not exert ourselves, and all of these things. And we used to have tens of these days every year. Every summer, we would have tens, if not dozens, of these days every year. So there were emissions of lead out into the environment. Those, in response to our attempts to regulate these outputs, we start recognizing the health impacts of these things. We've started regulating output. Now we have cars that don't use leaded gas. They have catalytic converters. We don't have leaded paint, all of these things. And so the lead in the environment, a lot of it was coming out of air emissions, now has been dropping dramatically over the last number of decades. So it may not always seem like it, but the air quality for your generation is actually in many ways significantly better than it is for my generation. But a lot of it is because of hard work of people that are involved, people of my generation and your generation. And we have to stay on top of it to make sure we continue to make progress. If we just, I already said this. So if we think we've achieved victory, then we really haven't. So it's a continuing process, and once you sign on for life.